So
Hello, everyone. Hi. It's Rosetta here, certified health coach at Simply Health, coming to you with another one of my conversations with Rosetta. And as usual, I'm going to ask you to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell notification if you don't want to miss any of my videos. And I'm so excited to come to you today with Debbie Brosnan. Yay. And she is a personal chef and the founder of the Effortless Kitchen. Thank you so much, Debbie, for
thank you.
joining my conversations with Rosetta. So I'm going to have you take it away, and I'm going to ask you, personal chef, the Effortless Kitchen. Now, if you could tell everyone how you came about being a personal chef and what the Effortless Kitchen is all about, because it sounds effortless. So I'd like to know more, right?
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me, Rosetta. So let me start with where I am, and I'll go back to what I was doing before. So right now, the Effortless Kitchen is a virtual cooking class organization. So I do virtual classes on a weekly basis. I do custom cooking parties, and I do corporate events. So it's all virtual. It's all cooking lessons. You cook along with me, and I teach you how. Personal chef work was prior to COVID. So my business originally started as a done for you in your home. I come in and make your weekly dinners for you, which for obvious reasons during the start of COVID, I had to stop that and transition to what I'm doing now.
That's amazing. Yes, everyone during pandemic had to shift, but yours is, it's really great that you could shift to virtual. And what I love about that is that you can reach a far wider audience doing this.
So
So,
true.
so you don't have to just do your own home area, or how
Yeah.
long does it take me to get there? How long, how much gas will I need to spend on that? Which
Right.
now everyone can do it virtually, which is what I'm really enjoying. And I love it. So, can you tell people like how did you get started in all this? What is your background?
Oh, my background is not in this. So I've always wanted to have a food business. I've been obsessed with cooking and food and dining and eating and everything centered around food for a very long time. I learned to cook from my grandmother and my mother. And when I had to decide what to do as a 17-year-old going into college, I still wanted to do something with food. And at the time, it was a restaurant chef or a nutritionist, and I didn't want the restaurant chef hours. So let's go with nutrition, but so much science. So I backed out of that and went to the business school, and I ended up being a CPA out of college. So
Oh,
totally different,
yeah.
totally different, very practical. And I worked my butt off. And while I was a CPA with KPMG, I tried to start a catering business out of my tiny apartment with no pre-internet days. So it was flyers on cars, and never took off, maybe for obvious reasons. I just had a passion for cooking, and I never had a business plan at the time. So I was the accountant and then full-time stay-at-home mom. I have 3 teenagers now, and then started kind of hearing what other people were doing for their businesses and their passion. And these women were doing these amazing things. And they're not necessarily certified or educated or whatever in it. And I'm not a trained chef. So I thought, well, people won't hire me if I'm not a trained chef. Well, that's not true. So I just dove in 2019, and I started my business, and it took off, and I had clients, and I was like, and nobody ever asked me where I went to school. Nobody ever asked me, what culinary school did I graduate from? They just wanted good food.
I think that's the most important, right? If you can actually follow someone cooking and they're cooking amazing, simple, and I always say simple, easy to follow recipes, then you have that secret sauce. And if you can make recipes that captivate people, oh, I like that recipe. I think I might want to try that. That's a great way to start. And Debbie told me that what I really love is that you can host parties. So anyone out there that doesn't know how to cook, doesn't know where to start, Debbie does these amazing virtual parties where you can gather a few of your friends. It can be 2 or 3 friends, or you can do like, do you have a maximum number of people that you have for virtuals?
No, I don't. It depends on how many people you want to have and the level of intimacy you want it But my pricing starts for a group of 10 or less. So that's kind of like the sweet spot.
That's great. So if you want like for anything, oh my goodness, I can imagine. I'm just thinking of literally any kind of event, like a girls' night in or happy hour, or what about families, family reunions? You could get together and you could cook something. People love to gather over cooking, right? Food is like the center of everything, right? It's just really warm and fuzzy, makes you feel fuzzy, and then learn a new recipe. So gather your friends around, think of an occasion, think of anything, just come up with any, any kind of excuse, right? And then have 10 people and then just invite them, and they don't even have to be close to you, they could be anywhere, right? Even around the
Anyway,
world, because
yeah.
they'll figure out the time zone, right? The timing can be fine. If it's you know, even in England you could get someone, that's where I'm from, right? If you have relatives in different countries, get them together,
Yeah.
connect with Debbie, and she will help you. And what I really love about Debbie is that not only will she help you come up with recipes, she will help you if you have food allergies or food sensitivities. She'll come up with recipes like if you don't eat meat, you're vegan, you're paleo, you're keto, blah, 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 you know, you're gluten free. A lot of people like to nowadays, along with me, I like to do anti-inflammatory diet. So you just tell her what your needs are and she'll customize them to anything you want, which is really nice, which is great, because then you're not just stuck with this recipe. You can adapt the recipes to your audience, which is really good. So I'm excited, and I want to ask you, now you've been doing this for a while now, and you said you started your business in 2019 getting clients. Do you have a story that you could tell people, anything that that could be fun or just interesting, like any parties you've had that might be a good story to tell people?
Um, so I can talk about, people are afraid to try different things, right? People are afraid to try something new. It's too hard. I don't know. I could never make that. Well, that's what my goal is to teach people that they can be confident and comfortable in their kitchen. And I do a lot of recipe testing to get myself there. And I love pad thai. I've made it before in the past. And recently I haven't been making it because I'm the only one in my family who eats it. And I said, you know what? I want to teach a pad thai class. So let me test some recipes and find the perfect version of pad thai that I want to show. And I'm telling this story because I want people to know that I know what I'm doing in the kitchen, yet I make mistakes too. Things happen, you learn from them. So I grab the rice noodles, and if anybody's worked with rice noodles, you know they're extremely starchy and like to stick together.
Yes.
So the method for cooking in the recipe said to let them sit in warm water to soften so that you can use them in the pad thai. Well, I had a nice big tray of warm water and I put the noodles in there. They were spread out, and I walk away for the 5 minutes. I come back, I go to pull them out, and it is one giant clump of noodles that were just no saving them.
Oh,
So I'm like, you know what?
no.
That method doesn't work for me. So let me go to traditional, let me boil them. And I just did on Friday night, we did our pad thai perfect pairings class. So we do it with wine and food tasting.
What?
And we're like, I'm going to stand here and let's babysit these noodles. Like we want them to be perfect. Like, so, you learn things along the way that, so what, I made a mistake. I redid it. I learned from my mistake, and now I can teach people that. So that's what I love about what I do, is that I'm not perfect
Nice.
either.
So you do all the trial and error for everyone else so that you make the mistakes and then we get the final amazingly great version of it.
Yeah. And half the
We
time
love.
when I'm telling those stories and talking in the class while we're talking, and I'm like, so you want to do this and you don't want to do this. And how do I know? Why am I telling you this? It's because I've made the mistake. So I've
You've been there and done that. That's
learned from my
great.
mistakes. Yeah.
That's great. So can you tell people watching, like when you do a virtual class, what are the preparations that people need beforehand? Because I'm sure people are thinking, well, I'm sure it's not just getting online and just watching her, or is it just watching you? What does it entail in the virtual class? What do people do? Are there any preparations they need for it?
So you do have the choice to just come and watch And sometimes people come with a recipe printed and I see them taking notes while I'm cooking and talking. Most people like to come and actually cook a meal because the benefit is having the food to eat at the end of it and having the activity to keep you busy because everybody's on Zoom for so long all the time and they're like, oh, not another Zoom. I'm like, no, this is totally different. You're active, you're doing something, you're making a meal, and you don't feel like you're on a screen. So I will send out the recipes in advance. So you have about a week to shop, get your groceries, whether you order them or go to the store to buy them. And then my recipes all come with a prep to be done in advance of the class. And typically it's have your water boiling and turn on your oven. Maybe if we're working with chicken, cut your chicken in advance. But all of those other things, all those other steps in the ingredients that say like onion diced or garlic minced, all of that we do together step by step. So inevitably I have people who come to the class and all of those things are done. They have all their ingredients ready to go. I come to the class and all my ingredients are out and we prep everything together. So I want people to learn how to dice an onion, how to mince garlic, like all of those things that if you really know how to cook, you might take for granted that everybody knows, but they may not necessarily know. So that's why I like to break it down and make it easy. And also just, I don't want people to be stressed coming into class, having to like get everything all done before they see me.
Nice. I like that because for so many years, I mean, I do cook. I know how to cook. I'm not a chef like you. I don't claim to be amazingly good cook, but I never knew how to cut an onion properly. And it took me forever. And if you know how to do it properly, it takes you seconds. It really does. And I'm
Yes.
sure you do it the proper way, but I was doing it. Oh my goodness, it was so hard. And then one time I was watching a show and someone was teaching how to do it. I said, I'm going to try it that way. Oh my goodness, if you don't know how to do things like that, thank you, Debbie. I love
Yeah.
that. So you
Yeah.
can teach people how to peel garlic, how to mince. Ginger is one of the things that's hard to. Peeling is okay, but just mincing it is. Oh my God, I just don't like doing it.
Right. It's funny that you mentioned all of this. So I'm just coming out with a series of videos, short videos on how-tos, all the how-to prep things. I have ginger in there, garlic, onion, carrot, celery, bok choy. So I'm going to have those in my weekly newsletters. So
Nice,
hopefully
nice. So
people
how do
will
people
subscribe.
get a hold of those how-tos? Will they be on your website?
No, they won't be on the website. They'll be in my newsletter. So if they hop onto my website and subscribe to my newsletter at the bottom of the website, it's on, they can
Okay,
just
you heard
hop
it
in
here,
there.
everyone.
Yep.
Go to Debbie's. I'm going to put all her information below, including her website. So you don't have to memorize all this. Everything will be in the descriptions. So go to her website and sign up for her newsletter to get all the how-tos,
Mhm.
because that will be really great. And I can't emphasize enough, come up with a reason to have a virtual, because I'm excited. I'd like to do this as well. And I'm going to come up with a reason and we'll put something together. And I'd like to do this because it sounds like a ton of fun. I'm so excited. And like, you do these virtual classes now, you may not have an answer to this, but I'm going to ask you,
Okay.
where do you see this effortless kitchen going? Do you have any kind of mission or goals or something that you would like to accomplish within this business of yours?
So, what I found is the byproduct of these classes is not just, let me teach you this recipe, here's a new dish for you to try. It's the confidence that I instill in people who now feel comfortable in their kitchens and inspired to do new things, whether it's my recipes or other ones. So, my goal is to continue that, whether it's virtual or not. I really hope virtual stays. It's so fun. And like you said before, I get to reach people anywhere they are. But I'd love to do more educational stuff and teaching people what I know in the kitchen and passing along my gift.
Wow, that's amazing. And as you said, within the kitchen, if you know how to cook, you don't need to go to culinary school, because a lot of times what happens is the best cooks are the ones that have recipes passed down from generation to generation, from the grandmothers to the great grandmothers. That's the best. I love home cooked food. And
Mhm.
sometimes it actually tastes way better than if you have a culinary chef, make it for you. So I think that's the best way. I love it. And I'm so glad that you turned a passion into a purpose and for your business. This is really, really great. And did I hear earlier that you do cooking with wine? You can do wine parties.
Yes.
cook, and you can drink some wine. So how does that
Wine.
work with the wine included in that?
So for any of my events, if you wanted to have a wine pairing, I have a very good friend who does wine pairings with me for clean crafted wine. So I partner with her and another woman who is a nutrition evangelist, and once a month on a Friday evening, we host a perfect pairings event, and it is we'll walk through a dish together. So as I do in my regular classes, we have 2 bottles of wine that we sample from. We get nutrition advice along the way. It's about an hour and a half of really fun. It's a fun event. People on the event actually end up connecting, just because everybody gets to be so comfortable, and we have repeats so that people start getting to know each other. I love the community that we've built.
That's great. So now you have 2 people that have the wines. What about people watching? How do they get the wines? Are they drinking the wine at the same time, or they're just watching?
Yes. So the wine, they order the wine directly from her. It gets shipped to their home.
Okay, so they order it prior to the Friday event.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yes.
Very, very good. That's
Mhm.
great. What a great way to do that. And then you get to try some nice clean wine and expand your palate, people, because I always say try something new. As we get older, we kind of get set in our ways and our habits, right? And it's the fear that sets in, right? Like cooking, as you said, people are scared to try new things, right? But with Debbie, she'll make it easy for you. She'll help you do the simplest things, and she'll help you cook, and you'll make fantastic meals. And I did notice that she does have her spring menu up. So spring is in the air,
Yes.
everyone. Easter is coming up right around the corner, April the 4th this year, 4/4. And just a couple of the menu items that I noticed was Italian wedding soup.
Mhm.
Everybody loves that. If you haven't tried that, I've never tried to make that. So
It's
that's a great one.
delicious. It's also very easy, and we're doing it on April 3rd. And I know it's Easter weekend. Maybe people are going to be with family or trying to get together. I have a great idea. Come to my class on Saturday. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. Make this soup with me. Have it as your starter for your Easter dinner. Like it's done. Like one part of the meal is done. If you don't want
Nice,
to have it for lunch
nice.
that day. Yeah, prep in advance. You get one thing out of the way. That soup holds really well. It's hearty. It's got meatballs in it and kale. It's delicious.
Great. That's great. And then the other one that piqued my interest was the coconut curry ramen. I love anything that's spicy, and I love coconut in anything. It just adds that nice, rich texture and flavor to it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's got golden tofu and it's done in the oven. So it's not fried, but it's crispy.
Oh, yum. I love
Yeah.
tofu as well. And tofu is so healthy for you because all the Japanese people, right? They eat a lot of tofu, and it's the Japanese have one of the lowest rates of breast cancer because they eat a lot of tofu. Tofu is very healthy for you.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I love that. Yay, yay. So everyone, again, this is Debbie. Again, she is with the Effortless Kitchen. Check, please, please, please go and check out her
Yeah.
website because she has those virtual classes. And I strongly recommend, if you want something fun to do, like she said, you prep prior to that a week before. She'll give you all the recipes and the shopping list so you can get everything in advance. Now, if you're not one that wants to cook on the event, the session, she said it's okay if you're just watching. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine. But I always say, if she's cooking and she's helping you go through every single step, why not join her at the same time? Everyone is doing it at the same time. It'll be simple, it'll be easy and effortless. Again, it's effortless. That's why it's called Effortless Kitchen. I'm so excited. Can you tell? I'm excited because it's
I love
effortless.
it. It is effortless. It is. I originally named it for my personal chef work where I was making it effortless for my clients. This truly is effortless for you. I'm doing all the thinking. I'm doing all the planning. Here's the recipe. I'm doing all the demo. So cook along with me. So you're really not thinking about it. You're just doing and
Yay,
having a good time.
yay. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I love it. And as her sweatshirt says, culinary goddess.
Culinary
So
goddess.
there
Yes,
you
I love
have
that
it. She's a
sweatshirt.
culinary goddess. And and I just want to say that I'm excited because you could do basically get together with her and see what she can do for you. I'm sure
Mhm.
she could do anything you want. Just talk to her. Sure,
Yeah.
she could cater some kind of virtual event, even if it's not the typical, get 10 people together. I'm sure she could do something, come up with some kind of idea for having a great event for your friends, your family, whoever you want, even corporate, right? Because you do
Yes,
this. If
I do.
you have a company and you want to do this as a team building, this is great.
Mhm.
Wow, this is amazing. I don't work in a company that needs team building, but if you do, or if you are a small startup company, this is a great way to do team building with your company. Because I always say within a company, it stems from top down. So if management give them that morale, the enthusiasm, and do things to get that team building going, then people are more likely, right, to,
It's
to more productivity
more,
for
yes,
them.
more productive. Yes, they're more engaged. It helps with retention. It helps with a lot of things. And you get to see in each other's kitchens. You get to see what people's kitchens look like. That's what everybody loves when they hop on the Zoom at first. They're like, oh, look at your kitchen, because they never Zoom in their kitchen for work.
I know. And then some people could be too embarrassed, but it's okay. Everyone's kitchen is their own unique kitchen and you're
Yeah.
cooking in it. So you just want to have the thing is, it's not about the location, it's about that bonding you do. I always say it's the bonding and how much more closer you become when you're doing this. And it's
Hmm.
fun. Who doesn't
Hmm.
want fun, right? We need fun. During
Yes.
this planet, we need as much fun as we can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, like, for my virtual events, you don't really need a reason, just because. But I just did a 70th birthday party. I did an event for a group from school who the parents have not been able to connect because the kids are all virtual. So the parents don't know each other for one of the grades in the school. So the PTO got together and organized this event for the kindergarten parents. So they get to meet each other.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, so the
Yeah.
parents, if you yeah, that's great. If you're a parent who has kids in school and you want to connect with the other parents, that's a great way to do it,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because as we know, a lot of kids are in virtual. Well, some kids are going back to school, but a
Mhm.
lot of kids have been in virtual forever, right? It seems like forever. So
Yeah.
we don't really get to meet the parents. So why
Mhm.
not do a virtual parent night and cook something
Yeah.
delicious?
Yeah.
Delicious. Now, do you do like main dish, just main dishes, or can you do like a dessert kind of thing?
We've done dessert. So the parent one that we did was a brunch. We actually made the brunch the evening before, and they were going to eat the food the next morning. So breakfast was done for them, and we had a cocktail with it. I've done cocktails and desserts, appetizers and cocktails. So there's all different ways to do it, and they're just a lot of fun. And the great thing about the private events and the corporate events is once we are done cooking, everybody stays on my Zoom and they connect and they eat together. I hop off and then they all stay on. And it's a
Oh,
great way
nice,
to have that extra
nice.
time because you're busy, you're cooking. Maybe you're not able to talk and see everybody. But once we're done, you can relax, have a drink, eat together, and connect.
That's fantastic. I love it. So
Yeah.
the sky is the limit, people.
Hmm.
Connect with Debbie and she can do whatever you want. As she said, she did that brunch for some ladies. So isn't that amazing to have pre-made so you're not like scrambling the morning of. Everything's made for you. That's
Hmm.
really great. And in the words of Debbie, everyone can cook, make it effortless.
Love that. Yes.
That's great.
So
And do
true.
you have any last words for people, Debbie?
Along the lines of that, do not be afraid. Like, just go and try something new. If you don't love to cook, go and get inspired by recipes online, watch a cooking show, have some takeout, get inspired by that, and then try to make it yourself. And if you don't want to, take a class with me, I would love that. But that's just a tip to just dive into it and don't be afraid to try something new.
Yay, I love it. Cooking virtual parties for anyone and everyone. Oh, and one last thing I just popped up in my head because I was wondering now, could you do something for kids?
I do kids classes. Yeah, I've done tons of kids parties, birthdays, school vacation week, because you're not traveling. Um, just gathering a group of friends, kids, just because they want an activity. And we do what are their favorite dishes. So meatballs and marinara is a favorite one, and I'm getting kids to make an entire meal for their family,
Oh, I
which is
love it.
amazing. Get the kids in the kitchen, they cook it, and then you get to eat it.
Oh my
Dinner's
God, I
done.
love it. I love it.
The kids love the chicken strips with the dipping sauces, and we make two different homemade sauces where they get to taste test and figure out and vote in the end which one they like the best.
That's amazing, because I'm all about like helping families and kids live that healthier lifestyle. And one of my suggestions I give to people is have your kids in the kitchen help you prepare the food, because when they help you prepare the foods, or if they're old enough they can chop and dice and cut, they're more inclined to eat the foods that they know what's inside the foods, right? Because the reason why a lot of kids don't eat the foods is because they're not sure what's in the foods, they don't know what goes in the foods. But when they're actually in the kitchen getting their hands dirty, it could be even just like mixing something with a spoon, right? They get excited and they're like, oh, I helped cook this. So they're more apt to eat the foods that they actually get involved in cooking with. So I love that. I love that. That's a
It's
great
very
way.
true. And what you just said is so true. I have heard from numerous parents after the classes, especially the meatballs. You make marinara sauce, there's onion in it. We chop the onion together, it goes into the sauce. And I think half of the parents come to me after the class. My kid does not eat onion. They love the sauce. So they're chopping the onion. They know what's in it. They say they don't eat it, yet they love the sauce in the end. So it's just kind of a mindset shift for them.
It
when they're,
really
like,
is. And
trying it
how
for
can you
themselves.
make it, how can you like just take it to another level, which doesn't, it's not like putting here onions in your face, right? It's not in your face. Here are some raw onions, eat the onions, right? It's in a
Yeah,
dish that they'll love. So that's
yeah,
great. Oh, I like that. So
yeah,
so virtual cooking classes for everyone in your family, from the young to the old. Oh, that's really great. I love it.
absolutely, absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Debbie, for
Thank
joining me today. It
you.
was so much fun, everyone. Wasn't that fun? And remember, start thinking about virtual parties now.
Yep.
Contact Debbie. All right. Thanks for joining me for another one of my episodes of Conversations with Rosetta. And if you like this video, please like it, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Thank
Until
you.
next time. Bye bye now.
Bye.